Hello, my name is Nicole Ketchum, and I'm a student at the Monterey Institute. I am a Hearst scholar, and recently I had the opportunity to travel to Israel, Palestine, and this is my story. The Monterey Institute wanted to send 3 students to Bethlehem area in the West Bank to do relationship building with local organizations.
Nicole's experience is just one of the many opportunities we offer our students at the Monterey Institute for immersive learning activities. She was a part of a team of 3 students we were able to send to Bethlehem, Palestine, and the West Bank. And Nicole was a perfect choice, in part because she's getting her master's degree in international policy studies, but also because she'd already spent time at Ben Gurion University. The goal of this team was to not only solidify our relationships with Bethlehem University, but more importantly was to try to identify and then begin to develop strong relationships with local organizations where our students could eventually do internships.
I arrived in Tel Aviv December 29th. As we were landing, I could see the Tel Aviv lights along the coast. I was back. I began getting excited about seeing my friends Shirley and Tomer, who I knew were waiting for me. We greeted each other a little awkwardly as I leaned in for a big hug while they were ready to kiss my cheek in the traditional Israeli way of greeting. How could I forget? I guess you forget a lot in 2.5 years. But it was so good to see them, it was as if no time had passed. The day that I had left, December 27th, Israel had launched an attack on Hamas in Gaza. The news station was showing footage of Beersheva getting bombed by Qassam rockets. I used to live there. I walked to the Bedouin Shuk almost every week. I attended Ben Gurion University. What about all of my friends there? It was a harsh reality, something that hit home. January 3rd. I'm in Jerusalem. My program teammates, Katie and Nikki, arrived in Tel Aviv, and we took the train to Jerusalem, then a taxi to the Old City. I went to Beit Hanina in East Jerusalem, where I'm staying with a Palestinian Arab-Israeli family whose son, Elias, goes to the Monterey Institute and is a friend of mine. First I experienced the Israeli side at Shirley and Tomer's, and now I'm experiencing the Palestinian side with this family in East Jerusalem. January 6th. We arrived in Bethlehem yesterday and were so warmly welcomed we fell in love with the place instantly. Today we got to work. We formulated a letter and emailed it out to some 50 organizations we had researched, and later on in the day did some more touring of Bethlehem. I continue to struggle within myself about the 2 sides of this conflict. January 15th. We've had 10 meetings and each has been a success. Last night we were invited to dinner with the De La Salle brothers, the founders of Bethlehem University. This morning we had an early meeting with the head of the Arabic department at Bethlehem University, Dr. Moeen Haloun, to talk about Arabic courses for future interns from Monterey Institute. We had an enjoyable meeting with him. January 26th. I'm in Beersheva. This morning I heard something like thunder and felt the ground tremble. I took bus 4 to Me'onot Gimel, my former residence here in Beersheva. I walked around, memories flooding my mind, bringing on smiles. Then I took the bus to the Bedouin Shuk and just walked around for old time's sake. January 28th. I can't believe I leave tomorrow. I had such a unique opportunity throughout this trip to hear from so many different persuasions in this conflict. I got to experience the effects of the conflict on the ground, in the Palestinian territory, and in Israel. Hopefully I'll eventually get to involve myself, but never stop learning and listening throughout. It was great just making new friends and hearing all those perspectives, and especially being there during the Gaza conflict, during the war in Gaza, was fascinating but difficult. So it was an intense but beautiful experience.
Nicole is one of our 5 Hearst scholars. We're really very fortunate to have these scholars on campus. They are motivated, full of energy, and ready to solve the world's problems. I have no doubt that Nicole, as she goes forward, will be able to use her conflict resolution skills to help address the problems in the Middle East.